The unassuming passenger. The boarding queue for the Celestial Dawn stretched through 3 levels of Titan Station's departure terminal. Marcus Kane stood patiently near the back, his worn duffel bag slung over one shoulder and a simple travel case in his other hand. The massive luxury liner towered before them through the viewing windows, its pristine white hull gleaming under the station's artificial lighting. At nearly 2 kilometers long, it was one of the largest passenger vessels in the galaxy, capable of carrying 5,000 beings across the void between star systems. Around him, the queue buzzed with excitement and conversation. Wealthy Altarian merchants displayed their success through elaborate jewelry that caught the light with every movement. Zephyrian diplomats spoke in hushed tones about upcoming trade negotiations, their crystalline skin shifting colors with their emotions. A group of Centauran tourists laughed loudly as they shared stories of their previous adventures, their multiple arms gesturing wildly as they competed for attention. Marcus kept his eyes forward, saying nothing. At 42 years old, he had learned the value of blending into crowds. His weathered hands bore the calluses of honest construction work, and his simple brown jacket and dark pants marked him as clearly working class among the affluent passengers. The gray threading through his black hair and the fine lines around his dark eyes spoke of a man who had seen more than his share of the galaxy's realities. The boarding process moved efficiently despite the massive number of passengers. When Marcus reached the check-in counter, the Vorthan attendant barely glanced at him before scanning his ticket and credentials. Her 4 eyes remained focused on her display screen as she processed his information with mechanical precision. Marcus Kane, Economy Section 7, Birth 847, she announced in the clipped, professional tone common to her species. Destination Kepler Colony. Journey time, 14 standard days. Please proceed to boarding tube 4. Marcus nodded his thanks and moved toward the indicated tube. The corridors of the Celestial Dawn were impressive even by galactic standards. High ceilings curved gracefully overhead, lined with soft bioluminescent strips that provided gentle natural lighting. The floors were covered in a material that felt almost organic beneath his feet, cushioning each step while providing perfect traction. Artwork from dozens of worlds decorated the walls, creating a museum-like atmosphere that spoke of the ship's luxury status. The contrast between the elegant public areas and Economy Section 7 was stark but expected. Marcus found his berth easily enough, a small but efficient space containing a narrow bed, a compact storage unit, and a tiny personal hygiene station. It was clean, functional, and exactly what he had paid for. He stowed his belongings and made his way to the common area assigned to his section. The economy passenger lounge was crowded but comfortable. Beings from across known space had gathered in small groups, sharing meals from the automated food dispensers or engaging in various forms of entertainment. Marcus found an empty seat near a viewport and settled in to watch the departure procedures. Through the transparent aluminum window, he could see the organized chaos of a major spaceport. Cargo haulers moved between the massive ships like industrious insects, loading and unloading the goods that kept interstellar civilization functioning. Smaller passenger vessels darted between the giants, their pilots navigating the complex traffic patterns with practiced skill. In the distance, the defense platforms that protected the system hung in space like metallic flowers, their weapon arrays tracking every ship that moved through their coverage zones. First time on a luxury liner, the voice belonged to a young Kalari female who had taken the seat across from him. Her species was humanoid but taller and more slender than humans, with pale blue skin and large expressive eyes. She wore the practical clothing of a mid-level professional, probably heading to one of the colonies for work rather than pleasure. Marcus looked up from the viewport and offered a polite smile. "No, but it has been a while. You? My 3rd trip, actually. I'm Dr. Neela Shan, xenobiologist. I'm heading to Kepler to study the native microorganisms in their ocean systems." She extended her hand in the universal gesture of greeting, and Marcus shook it briefly. Marcus Kane, construction supervisor, taking a new position on the colony. It was partly true. He had indeed accepted work with one of the major construction firms developing the colony's infrastructure. What he did not mention was that this job represented his latest attempt to find peace in honest work. Far from the complexities and memories that seemed to follow him throughout the more populated systems, Dr. Shan proved to be pleasant company during the early hours of the journey. She spoke enthusiastically about her research and asked thoughtful questions about construction techniques in low-gravity environments. Marcus found himself relaxing slightly, drawn into a conversation about the practical challenges of building sustainable structures on worlds with different atmospheric compositions and gravitational forces. Other passengers drifted into their conversation as the hours passed. A draconian merchant named Vex shared stories of his trading expeditions to the Outer Rim worlds, his reptilian features animated as he described negotiating with the mysterious phantom traders who operated in the space between known systems. An elderly human couple, the Millers, spoke fondly of visiting their grandchildren who had been born on one of the agricultural worlds in the Kepler system. As the conversation continued, Marcus found himself genuinely enjoying the company. These were good people, ordinary beings living ordinary lives and pursuing ordinary dreams. They represented everything he had spent years fighting to protect, though none of them would ever know it. In their presence, he could almost forget the weight of memories that had driven him to seek increasingly isolated positions on frontier worlds. The ship's intercom system chimed softly, followed by Captain Thorax's distinctive insectoid voice. "Ladies, gentlemen, and honored beings of all species, this is your captain speaking. We have successfully cleared Titan Station's traffic control zone and are preparing to engage our primary drive systems. Estimated time to hyperspace jump point is 6 hours 47 minutes. All passengers, please ensure your personal belongings are secured, as we may experience minor gravitational fluctuations during acceleration." Through the viewport, Marcus watched as Titan Station began to shrink behind them. The Celestial Dawn's massive engines came online with a barely perceptible vibration that ran through the ship's superstructure. Around them, space began to change as they built velocity toward their jump point, where they would enter the strange non-reality of hyperspace for the journey between star systems. Dr. Sean excused herself to return to her berth and review her research materials. The draconian merchant wandered off to explore the ship's commercial district. The elderly couple settled in for a nap, holding hands as they dozed in their chairs. Marcus remained by the viewport, watching the stars grow brighter as they left the inner system behind. For the first time in months, he felt something approaching contentment. Perhaps this journey would be different. Perhaps on Kepler Colony he could finally build something lasting without the ghosts of his past finding him. The construction work would be challenging and rewarding, the kind of tangible progress that brought satisfaction without raising uncomfortable questions about his background or qualifications. But even as he entertained these hopeful thoughts, Marcus Kane could not shake the feeling that his past would not remain buried forever. In his experience, the galaxy had a way of demanding payment for old debts when you least expected it.